Hi, this is Jeremy Kellett, Director of Recruiting here at Oakley Trucking, and I'm your host for this podcast. This is the Oakley Podcast, Trucking Business and Family. In today's episode, we are coming from down south in Rosedale, Mississippi. We are at the company called Jantran, which is a division of Bruce Oakley. And we're going to sit down right now and talk to Mr. Paul Janoush about how this company got started and the history of it. I think it's a very fantastic story. We're down here, me and Annabelle's down here for a couple of days getting some good information and seeing this place actually for the first time I've ever been here. And I should be kicked for that. I should have been here a long time ago and getting to know these people, but it's a fantastic place. It's a neat operation, and we're going to talk to Mr. Paul a little bit about it. So as always, we appreciate everybody, tuning in to the Oakley Podcast every week, and I mean, it's just our subscribers keep growing. That's a great thing for us in Oakley Trucking, and but never forget, I mean, the purpose of this podcast was to reach out to our owner-operators, get in touch with them, keep them informed as best we can of what's going on in the trucking industry, especially with Oakley Trucking, and just to give you more information about us so we can stay connected as a company. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, share it with everybody and all your friends and tell them about it. So.
A used semi-truck is a great way to kick off your career as an owner-operator on a budget, and buying from a reputable dealer like Aero Truck Sales ensures you're getting a reliable truck that fits your needs. They carry trucks from all the major manufacturers in the trucking industry and perform a thorough inspection of every truck on their lot to ensure safety and quality and give you confidence that you're getting a reliable truck that will last you for years at a price that you can afford. Being a longtime partner with Oakley Trucking and the Oakley Podcast, we trust them to provide our owner-operators with a truck that fits their needs and matches our qualifications. So whether you're a first-time owner-operator or just looking for a new-to-you rig, be sure to give Keith Wilson and Trey Visor a call at 573-216-6047 and let them know you heard it here on the Oakley Podcast.
All right, Mr. Paul, how you doing today?
I'm good.
I appreciate you letting me and Annabelle come in your facility down here and tear this place apart a little bit.
No problem. We tear it apart all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Leslie took us around for a little tour, to kind of see what kind of operation you got, and I was telling her, to me, it's like a niche that a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people don't know about the waterway system, tugboats, and what a company like Jantran does. And I mean, this is I'll tell you what has amazed me the most since I've been here. Just today, been here since noon. Well, once you fed us, that was really good.
I was going to say lunch.
Lunch. He fed us as soon as we got here. That was really good. But the other thing is, everybody I talked to has been here years. And I'm not talking about 10 years. I'm talking about 30 years. You've got a lot of solid long-term employees. How did that come about?
How it came about, I don't know. We've been very fortunate in the people that we've hired that have been here, from Jerry, Leslie. People with 20 plus years. Perry. I don't know how many. You start putting all these years together.
We was talking to guy. Who's the guy? I forgot his name down here. He was one of your fleet managers, and he had been here since he was like 16.
Yeah,
he's been here working on 38 years.
Yeah, we have a lot that have started out early on the towboats, and as they moved along and moved up in the business and stayed with us, and we've really been fortunate. We've got a very good group of employees. They are very dedicated, and they do us a great job. It's been amazing. It sure makes it a whole lot easier when you have a bunch of good folks
you got
to
the
work
right
with.
people. Oh, that makes a world of difference. So you and your brother started this place?
Actually, my brother Joe started it along with 5 other investors from Cleveland. It was Janus Marine back then. That was in 1978. The port had just opened in 1977 or late 76. They dredged the port and started the development. And Joe was in Greenville. He's got a degree in marine engineering and naval architecture. And he worked in Greenville for a shipyard building boats down there, and decided he wanted to start his own. So when this port opened, saw it as an opportunity to come up here and start his own business.
And that was building boats.
Building boats. And I came to work for him when he first opened. And like I said, we built boats. That's what we came to do. And of course, some of the first ones we built were stock boats that eventually got sold. Thank goodness. It was looking a little grim for a while there. And but then the port needed a boat to service the port, so we got a boat to do it. And then we started with the fleeting operation, and then here in the port, and then Bungie started calling us needing boats to go up on the White River to service their elevators. And so we got into...
So everywhere you turn, somebody was needing a boat, and were y'all like the only ones in the area that were building them?
We were the only people around here from Greenville, besides Greenville, that was building at the time. And there was no other fleeting operation here, so it was just decided, well, we could build our own. We bought one used boat to start because they needed it immediately in the fleet, and then we built another fleet boat. And then I said Bungie started calling, wanting the boats to go up the White River to service their elevators, and it's from there we kind of got thrown into the towing business.
Thrown into
quite a learning experience since nobody had any idea how to. We'd never done any towing in our life.
So what made you do that?
Well, it's just one of those things. Saw it as a way to branch out the business. If the construction was slow, that we could have another operation to go into. And that's about the time my brother John came on line, and he took over the operation of the towing operation. And from there, it just kind of grew. There was an accident with Helena Marine Service back in, oh man, you tested my memory now, 80s, early 80s, that they had a large breakaway during a flood. And that pretty much took them out of business.
So that helped y'all.
Helped us because they had all these boats, and so they mainly did the towing on the Arkansas River.
Okay.
They had pretty much 100% of it. And they decided they were getting out. We leased, I think 6 of their boats from them, and then just started really in the towing operation then, and mainly calling on who were their customers at that time and taking over and starting to learn the towing business by just being thrown into it.
Right.
So we got in it. It was a learning curve, no doubt, a big learning curve.
So your operation now, I mean, how many boats you got?
We operate 22 boats right now. There's a couple under construction, fleet boats down here now. For somebody in Oakley, we're not sure if we're going to get one, and maybe Little Rock's going to get one, but we're going to build a few fleet boats right now. And
yeah, we're actually going to get sit down with Hayden, I think, in the morning and talk about how he goes, because y'all have built them for years, and we're going to kind of get him to show us a little process.
Sure.
Of how that's going, because he's down here doing one. So that's going to be interesting to see too.
Yeah, and he can give you the step-by-steps of it. It's it's a long process. We're not as automated as some of the bigger shipyards. And we kind of, we got out of building for other people back in the early 80s, basically, when the Carter grain embargo pretty much dried up the river, and a lot of boats tied up. So that kind of killed the construction side of it for a long time.
What all? I mean, of course, back in trucking, years ago when I started there too, there was not as many rules and not as many guidelines, as there is now in trucking. I'm sure it's been the same in your business.
Yeah, it's gotten a whole lot more regulations and regulated. I guess you can go to 9/11 started a bunch. As you can see, you can't come on this facility without a card, and we're considered a secure facility because we have diesel fuel.
That's right.
And then just all the other new Coast Guard rules and regulations that have come into effect from those days. And pollution controls and air quality controls and you name it.
Yeah, I think
all the stuff, the regulations.
Leslie was telling us about some of it. A lot of it happened, I think, when that barge breakaway you was telling me about a while ago happened. And
yes.
A lot of rules and regulations started coming up then.
Yes, I mean, yeah, and then just over the past few years, just with everything from Homeland Security, the development of the Homeland Security cabinet, and put the Coast Guard under them, and so forth. So, and it's brought on a whole lot of regulations that.
Is that your guidelines, Paul? I'm done when
Coast
it comes
Guard.
to Coast Guard.
Coast Guard is our main controller, but they are division now of. I mean, they're under Homeland Security. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
So y'all may have changes all the time. I mean,
we have changes all the time. I was just reading a AWO letter in there, which is our association, and there's always changes coming down the line that we have to look at and see, does it apply to us, does it not apply to us, and what changes are going to have to be made. All of the boats in these new inspections that are required on them, and dry dockings at certain times. It's become a whole lot more regulated industry than where we were years ago. But a lot of it for the good. It's made a lot of, taken out a lot of the, I don't want to say smaller because we're small, but the ones who just running one boat fly-by-night companies that would undercut prices and stuff because they weren't abiding by regulations. So
made
everybody kind of level playing field.
I get you.
So it's for that it's been good.
Yeah. Is there a lot of competition in this business?
Oh, there's
I guess there is everything.
Yeah, it comes and goes. We have majority of the time we pretty much run the Arkansas River by ourselves. We move 90% of everything that moves up there. We don't move petroleum. Dedicated tows go in and out of Little Rock, as y'all know, and stuff, and 2 other places. But the grain, the fertilizers, the steel, that's our main movements of what we move.
So you would you do mostly the Arkansas, but like your boats that are out there right now. Of course, I know the water's low. That's a big problem right now, but. I mean, they'd be up and down the Mississippi, Arkansas.
Well, we run 3 on the lower, basically just from here to New Orleans and back.
Okay.
And then the rest run to Arkansas, and then 4 of them are fleet boats here. So.
Gotcha.
But it's mainly we use the lower feeds the boats to the Arkansas River here. Okay. They bring them up, they're dropped here. Arkansas boats pick them up and take them up to Arkansas.
I got it.
We've run way on up upper Mississippi, and so it's on a specialty call type thing. If somebody just wants to charter a boat for us to do, but that's not really our forte, going all the way to St. Louis and back. But I understand my boss wants us to do that since he understands it. Or since I understand, we got some elevators up in St. Louis.
We do.
And so there is talk of building a new boat a large boat to run from St. Louis all the way to New Orleans and back.
Neat.
So that's in the plans right now. It's on the drawing board for the prices are up tremendously right now, as you probably know about anything else. If you look at a truck or an engine for a boat, they're up $250,000 a piece, and we're higher than what they used to be.
Yeah.
30, 40 cent steel is now $1 and $1.10. So price of the boat, which used to could be built on average, you would say $1,000 a horsepower. 4,000 horsepower would cost 4 to 5 million, somewhere in there. Well, you can figure about $2,000 a horsepower to build it now, so or more.
Wow.
It's the prices are double, so it takes a little harder to look at to make sure that when you build this expensive boat, can you make money with it still? So that's the that's the
unknown, isn't it?
Yeah, and they double in price. It kind of makes it a little tough to figure out how they're going to make this work.
Well, it looks like you've made it work for quite a long time.
It has. It's been a good 45 years, actually.
Is that how long you've been here?
I've been here 45 years in August.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I came when I was 3.
Yeah. I thought so. Young man.
No, I don't want to go through it again. But no, it's been great. It's a very exciting business, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's always something going on. Sometimes not so much fun.
What makes us? I mean, I know it's got to be the people, but what makes this company so successful, and how you operate it?
Our biggest, of course, you're right, it is our people. We have great people, but also it is our location right here, sitting here at the confluence of the Arkansas and the Mississippi River. We're in the best place, and of course with the elevators here in the port that load here to go south, and then all of the loads that come up and going up to Arkansas. And the Arkansas business has just grown tremendously. It's become a tremendous river as far as barge traffic.
Lube Zone has opened a new location in Statesville, North Carolina. It's located north of Statesville on Highway 77, just west of Exit 59. Lube Zone services both single trucks and truck fleets, so whether you're driving through or you have a trucking company nearby, Lube Zone are the experts to turn to. Lube Zone's specialty is full-service oil changes that take approximately 30 to 40 minutes. They also offer tractor-trailer grease, gearbox service, generator service, reefer service, and DOT inspections. They also go the extra mile when it comes to quality control. What does that mean? That means your semi-truck is checked not just once, but twice to ensure all service and parts are good to go. Lube Zone does this so you can rest easy knowing that your truck is in top condition. No other service center knows semi-trucks better than Lube Zone. Check out lubezone.com for all their locations, and when you go in there, tell them you heard it on the Oakley Podcast.
So when Oakley came along back in 2011, and y'all came up with something, and decided to come on and join Oakley. How did that go about, and what have been the benefits of that?
Well, when it came about, Joe had decided that he was about ready to retire and sell, and we had talked to, so we had a broker out of Florida who was marketing the company for us, and
he was ready to sell.
Yeah.
Sure enough, and shut her down.
Yeah, and so different people, we had a handshake agreement with one large barge line, and they had some problems come up, and stopped all acquisitions that they were doing at the time. And Dennis had heard about it. And of course, we'd worked for Dennis for all these years, but we never considered Dennis being interested in the boats, or he'd have bought him some, because it seems like when he wants something, he does. I mean,
right.
He had the barges and the trucks, and if he wanted boats, figured he'd have got him something.
Yeah.
He contacted us after the deal fell apart and said he wanted to come down and take a look. And they all came in, and I think Mr. Cummins, Miss Ringo, and Dennis, and I can't remember who all. Yeah. And within 2 days, they went through all the books and stuff, and we pretty much had a deal. It was real quick. Kind of like, so we didn't do something right.
That went too well.
That went too easy. But it's been good for us. For one, the capture of all of the Oakley business, and not counting Oakley's connections with their acquisition of elevators and so forth and so on, and then just the size of Oakley to economize on things like insurance, where they're writing not just we're going out for a Jantran insurance, and y'all going out for trucks and barges and everything. A lot larger package was a lot more attractive to the insurance companies, which got us reduced costs and so forth and so on, and just other portions of the operations that we didn't have, IT departments and all that, like you all have. And
they're a big help, aren't they?
They really are. It's really nice to pick up phones, say, log in, something's wrong with this thing.
Those dudes could fix about anything.
Yeah, we were having to call somebody from Greenville or Greenwood to get over here, and they may be here in 2 days. And so it's really nice. It's the large scale really makes things nice, and access to the different.
And I guess, nothing really changed, did it? Other than that, the benefits of that. Y'all still working here?
Yeah, we were supposed to stay for 3 years.
That's
8 years ago. 11 years ago when we first said it. But, I told him back then, I wasn't going to be, I'd be here longer than 3. I still had a daughter in college. I wasn't ready to retire. And then it just kept going. They'd come at the end of 3 and said, y'all want to stay? And we said, yeah. And he said, just keep running it like you run it. So that's what we do. And pretty much all our people still run it like it's always been run. We're a little different than every other Oakley division, just because we do a whole lot more here than where Little Rock does for other divisions out of the Little Rock office. But we do most everything here, and it's just because it's totally different.
Yeah.
Payroll, everything is just totally different than anything they deal with up there. So then decided it'd be easier to just let it operate like it was operating. And
They've Dennis is he's got an eye for I think good companies.
He obviously does.
I mean, obviously.
he's doing very well.
I was actually talking to Leslie. I'm going to try to get her in here too and talk to her for a little bit. But she was saying there's a lot of similarities there with Jantran and Oakley, and even Dennis and your brother Joe.
Yeah,
said there's a lot of similarities there.
They both sometimes can scare you when they'll say they're going to do something. Let's think about this. But,
and it's probably already done.
It's really a moot point. You're just getting to express your opinion.
That's right.
Which is, at least you get to express your opinion.
Yeah, he's always good about that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been kicked out of his office, felt like that was stupid, I guess.
Yeah, well, they sound like a good idea at the time, but a lot of times they can see through it a whole lot quicker than I can. I can guarantee you, they see a bigger picture sometimes, maybe.
What's the future looking like here at Jantran?
Oh, I think the future looks great. The river industry is steadily growing. As you know from the trucking side, there's all the talk about too many trucks on the road. We can put 70 trucks in one barge. That takes a lot of, which I know y'all don't want to hear me talking about the trucking business and science behind me, but sorry. But I don't see, as long as this country's growing the commodities that we got to have and feeding the world with them, I don't see much change, just growth in the future. That's
the transportation business it's good. It takes care of a lot of people in this world.
Yeah, and it does. And
me and Annabelle were talking about that.
And a lot of people don't realize that just between trucking, barging, railroads, this country would come to a standstill. And without, if you just took one of them out of the equation, the whole country would come to a standstill.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got to have all 3 of them to move the goods that we produce. So I see it as being good for the future.
That's good. A lot of times you're just at the mercy of Mother Nature, I guess.
Oh yeah, we play in that, as you can see out here now. But it's been a little rough this year. Well, it hadn't been as bad as last year because it didn't get down and stay down as low as it did last year. We've gotten a little bump in water, which when you're this low, if you get a 2-foot rise, you're real happy because getting these barges out of the port and get them out after they're all loaded and getting them out. I guess our biggest thing is infrastructure on the rivers, and the government putting the money that needs to be put in to the river system.
Like what, Paul?
Oh, just in maintenance of ports, dredging of ports, widening of ports, maintenance of locks and dams. I mean, we do a whole lot, but we get, like a lot of things, we let it get too far behind. Just like the highway system, now we're playing catch up. We're way behind, and nobody wants to approve the billions of dollars it's going to take to fix it.
And I'm assuming that's Corps of Engineer responsibility?
Well, it's the Corps' main, they can do it. They got to get Congress to give them the money.
I got you.
So but it's the Corps, they pick and choose where it's going to be done, mainly where the worst spots are. But it's just, like I said, everything is costing so much now. When you start talking billions and billions and billions, there's locks and dams that, you can look at them, McClellan Curry, it ain't, 60 years old now. Locks and dams are 60, and we've got a lot of locks and dams that are over 100 years old in this country.
No kidding.
Yeah, and just they're in terrible shape. But it takes, to replace a lock and dam is a 3-year plus project, or more, and always has cost overruns on every one I've seen.
Yeah.
So, but it's just lots of money.
Yeah. Well, it takes that, I guess, in just about everything.
It does. But it's just like trucks are costing more, trains cost more, everything is costing more. It's not just us, everything's costing more.
Oakley Trucking is a 100% owner-operator company. We specialize in hopper bottom, end dump, and pneumatic trailers. We provide the trailer free of charge, and you provide the truck. We have a large customer base that reaches the whole United States as well as parts of Canada. Our owner-operators live anywhere from Texas to North Carolina to Pennsylvania to Wisconsin and everywhere in between, and we get them home weekends. We take it seriously when you join Oakley Trucking because we need you to be successful. Oakley offers great benefits and competitive mileage pay, so you know that when your wheels are turning, you're generating money no matter if you're loaded or empty. We understand that you want to make a good living and that you make our living. We only take on independent contractors, and to be honest with you, we are very particular on who we lease on. You must have a good driving record, good work history, and clean, dependable truck. So if you're interested in Oakley Trucking or just want some more information, you can go to oakleytrucking.com, listen to our weekly podcast, The Oakley Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Last thing I got for you, and I turn you loose. I know you probably got to go, but normally I get everybody at the beginning of the podcast to kind of introduce themselves. Didn't do that with you, but I kind of did it. But what about Paul Janoush? What's he got going on in his life? You said you had a daughter in college back in, whenever.
I got that same daughter is getting ready to pop in about 10 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to have a new grandchild. So that's what's going on in my life.
Congratulations.
Right here for Christmas. So I was like,
how many of them you got?
This will be the third one.
Congratulations.
My son's got 2, and this will be her first.
Now, y'all all within this area? You born and raised here?
We're all born and raised in Cleveland.
Okay.
Just where y'all staying tonight, 18 miles away. We've grown up on the river over here. We used to have a cabin when we were young down at Lake Whittington. We lived there every summer. And Daddy would travel back and forth to Cleveland to work, and we'd stay with Mama at the cabin. So we grew up on the water over here.
What'd you do on them summers?
Oh, man.
That you can tell.
Yeah, there comes the problem. Well, you learn to drink beer and smoke. Go hide on the lake where Mama couldn't see you.
Yeah.
From hunting and fishing to all of it. That's what we grew up in over here. And we all have a cabin just up the river here now. It sits on the river. We stay there a lot.
Do you?
Yeah. Joe lives just on up the river a little bit here. And
river's your life, isn't it?
It is. It's been in our blood the whole time. And, of course, we grew up water skiing on the Mississippi, which Mama really didn't like when she found out. And just riding, duck hunting. We've done it all. It's we stay on the river pretty much all summer long on boats or on sandbars, and it's what we do. It's what we've done our whole life. Slowing down a little as I'm getting older.
Is it?
Now. Yeah, it's
I don't believe that much.
Well, I'm trying to. Got old joints that hurt. It's more than they used to. But it's been a great life, and it's been really good for all of us since the Oakley bought us, and we just hope it continues on as it is. And with Justin running it now, nothing seems to have changed any end.
Yeah. Isn't that a blessing?
Isn't it, though? Because sometimes things can change, but Justin seems like he's just right behind his daddy and his same thought process.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, it's good to I've talked about it before on the podcast. Third generation.
Oh yeah,
they keep going.
Yep.
Did you know Bruce?
Well, I've met him maybe once or twice. Not
okay.
Just at a function.
Gotcha.
Somewhere. maybe up at the AOPOAs or one of those, and but just to have met him a couple times. No, I didn't know him that well.
Gotcha. Well, man, I appreciate you sitting down with me.
No problem.
I really do.
I hope I answered your questions. What you wanted to hear.
Yeah, I think so, and I just, this is a great company. It's just another division of Bruce Oakley, and you guys have got a great story here. And you ought to be proud of that. To be here as long as you've been here to start a company, you and your brothers, and it's still going, and it's going strong, and you got all these amazing people around here.
Well, like I said, couldn't do it without them.
Yeah.
And we do have great people, so that's.
Well, thanks, Paul. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Appreciate y'all coming.
Yeah, man. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Oakley Podcast as usual. And we just bring you another new episode here down in Rosedale, Mississippi at Jantran. And, it's just to go to show you, another great part of Bruce Oakley and the whole company. And appreciate these people letting us in down here and see what's going on and bringing it to you. Once again, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.